guys, Vas here from Aussie RC Playground and welcome to another unboxing, and I'm really excited about this one because I get to check out the ARRMA Senton 6S. Why am I excited about this short course truck? Well, let me bring you up to speed a little bit. This is a 1/10 scale four-wheel drive short course truck that can run right there, can run on 6S. Now, whilst you try to process and register that information, I'm going to put this into perspective for you. Most 10 scale short course trucks can run on either 2S or 3S. This monstrosity over here can actually run on 6S. That is 22.2 volts of LiPo insanity. And some evil genius out there in the ARRMA HQ decided to hold a board meeting. I would assume would be after a, I don't know, drunken night out, perhaps after a Christmas party. Everybody's loaded, and he's decided, or she, hey, let's build a 1/10 scale short course truck, and let's run it with our 1/8 scale system that we have in all our other 1/8 scale vehicles. I mean, there's no other short course truck out there that is 10 scale that can run 6S straight out of the box. I want to shake that person's hand because this is the ARRMA Senton. I'm assuming they couldn't register the name Satan, so I guess Senton was close enough. This promises to be just pure adrenaline craziness. Put a smile on your face, no matter how bad of a day you've had. Pull the trigger on this guy, and I think a lot of troubles are going to go away. So I am really keen to take a bit of a look at this thing and obviously drive it. As you can see, I've got all my other 1/8 scale vehicles from ARRMA, and now I've got this guy, so I've got a full set. I don't know if I unlock some sort of special achievement trophy or whatever for that, but hey, I've got the whole family together, and I personally couldn't be happier because so far so good with these 1/8 scale vehicles. Now, just a quick rundown. It is ready to run, of course, waterproof, brushless, which goes pretty much without saying, and it does have a 2-year warranty, which you may want to read up on to know exactly what you're covered for. This runs the same 1/8 scale brushless system that is found on the other 1/8 scale vehicles, including the Creighton, which is the big monster truck out there, or monster truggy as I like to call it, which also won an award, I think, recently for like Bash Vehicle of the Year. So here's how the truck comes packaged in the box. Nothing too exciting about that. However, in this little white box here, we have our remote. Now, of course, if you've seen my other unboxings of the ARRMA vehicles, you've of course seen this guy, and I've reviewed it in some of the other cars as well. Runs on 4AA's, good range, good feel, nothing wrong with this guy at all. Taking the truck out of the box very quickly, we'll just pop this guy aside because there is some goodies under here. Yes, there is, and I'll get rid of the box just over there. Now, this has the usual affair of tools and spares and bits and pieces that ARRMA supply with all the other 1/8 scale vehicles. We have some battery holder little plastic pieces here, which I'll be honest, I haven't really been using these, but they are, you know, included in the box if you choose to use them. It's nice that they're there. The usual toolkit, you have a 17mm hex wrench. You got a tiny little cross wrench in there for your smaller screws. There's also some Allen keys in there as well. So pretty much everything you need to work on the RC. So fantastic to see that included. And I think it's a spare antenna tube and a binding plug as well, should you need to rebind your remote to your receiver. High-speed pinion gear in here. However, on the box it says that this truck is capable of 60 plus miles an hour. These pinions that are included in the box do not get you to those speeds. You will need to get additional speeds in order, additional pinion in order to get to those speeds. We also have a bit of a speed chart here, and I believe that the additional pinion, according to this, is a 20 tooth. So the truck comes standard with a 14 tooth already fitted in there. They provide you with a 16 tooth, which gets you up, you know, gives you a bit more legs, which is nice. And then of course, if you want to get to that 60 plus miles an hour, you need to get a 20 tooth pinion at least. I'm not going to pull the manual out, but you know, the manuals from ARRMA have been very good, well detailed, well illustrated, plenty of part numbers and assembly instructions in there. Really nice manuals. Make sure you hold on to those should you need to do any maintenance or any other work on the truck, or your RC, depending which one you get, of course. Let's take the plastic little film off the truck itself. We'll get rid of this cardboard that it comes mounted on here very quickly. Wow, it's got a very unique scent. I love the smell of a new RC in the morning, even though it is night at the moment. Okay, so here is the truck itself. I'll bring this up nice and close, as I normally do, so you guys can have a better look at it. And I can see that there's a lot of cutouts on the back of the truck just here. There's also another one on the roof, and another one on the bonnet up here, or hood, I guess, depending on, you know, if you're in the States. I think the States call it hood. Interesting feature on this particular short course truck as well is that it has a clear rear spoiler, something I've not seen on any short course truck before. So nice little design. It actually doesn't look bad, given the fact that it's clear. It doesn't protrude, it doesn't really offend the truck in any way. And of course, this being a bit of a high-speed machine, I think it's going to come in handy. Looking at the truck though, just pulling it out of the box, you can see that it's squatting a bit at the rear and kind of coming up a bit at the front. That may need some body post adjustment perhaps, although the bumper's kind of hitting the body already, so lowering the body might you know, create a bit of a problem, because it's going to hit that bumper. So I may need to raise the rear up a little bit just to even it out. And you can see it's sagging. So the suspension overall feels really, really nice. I'm very impressed with this. Wow. I think this runs the same chassis. You can see there, it's an aluminium chassis underneath. This is the same chassis that is found on the ARRMA Typhon. Now, I did cheat a little bit. I had a bit of a sneak peek at this truck before. Of course, I started filming to give you guys a bit of information. What I found is that the A-arms on the truck are different from the A-arms on the buggy. They're actually a little bit shorter, and there's a slightly different design to them. So I suppose you can use the buggy A-arms if you want to widen the track out a little bit, but this is about an inch narrower than the buggy itself. So it may have the same shocks, it may have a lot of same components, but the length of the arms themselves is actually a bit shorter on the truck. Not that that's a good thing or a bad thing, it's just that's how it is. It's a short course truck, so it makes sense that it's a little bit different. So really, really nice. I like the body and the color scheme, like the little vertical stabilizers they got on the back here, and it looks as though they are, well, they're plastic obviously, but they look like they're sort of Lexan, and they've just been sort of coated on the inside, so they look totally black. Everything's already bolted on, ready to go. Very, very nice. All right, enough looking at the body. Let's take it off the truck, put the body pins aside just quickly. Does feel pretty nice. Actually, it's pretty rigid. I'm impressed. I think this rear spoiler helps a bit, just keeping it a bit stiffer at the back here. It's all screen printed inside, of course. Now, one thing I have noticed though is I can't see those stickers that ARRMA normally put on the inside of the body. So I don't know if they've decided to take them off this truck, or why they haven't put it on here. I don't know, because on the other RCs that I've had, they've had this like tape on the inside of the body, and for some reason my one doesn't come with it. So not quite sure what's happened here. I guess they decided not to do that with this truck. All right, so let's have a look at the chassis itself. Bring this up nice and close to the camera. Hopefully the camera will keep this in focus and give you guys a nice look at the truck. Tires themselves, these are the tread that they've gone with here. Not too bad, kind of medium to hard, I would call this. They're not the hardest compound I've found, but it does have a bit of softness to it, a little bit of stickiness as well. It just feels quite firm. The foams do feel a little bit soft though. Kind of wish the foams were a bit firmer, but it's not terrible. I think it'll pass for, you know, a ready to run tire. There's that huge front bumper, and you can see it's almost like got another bit on the top here. Plenty of flex, so that's nice. Take a nice big hit, will absorb a lot of that impact. These huge Nerf bar side guard type things that they've got, one on either side of the chassis here. very beefed up. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. This is quite unique. And have a look at the size of this rear bumper. Most rear bumpers tend to be on short course trucks are about there. This guy stretches out all the way to the end, and you've got these funky looking tabs going on over here. I'm not sure what that is, but I guess all of this is designed to sort of stay inside the body because I didn't see it originally, and it just protects it from when you take knocks, prevent the body from caving in on itself. So yeah, there is a bit of thought behind this. They are bolted on, so if you don't like these things, you can take them off. Also, if you're running a slightly different body where these might interfere, you can unscrew them and take them off. I can see that there. Yeah, also a fair bit of flex on this rear bumper as well, so will absorb quite a fair bit of impact. Nice beefy chassis braces going into the middle of the chassis here, which I think is the, pretty much the same as the Typhon. Adjustable body posts right there. Thank you very much, ARRMA. And looking at these little tabs, these come off? Yeah, they do. All right, that's interesting. So body posts look like that. They're like a little cross type of thing. And then these little guys will actually snap into place, just like so. And of course you undo your screws just on the side and you can adjust the whole post depending on the type of body that you're going to be running on this. So really nice. You can see here, hopefully, if the camera will do its little focus thing, this is a whole plastic piece that's bolted onto the actual shock tower itself. So if you have a look, the aluminium shock tower is just here, and then you've got this whole kind of plastic piece that bolts straight onto it. So they've actually thought this through a little bit, I think, because that's actually a very neat design, and protects your shock towers. And yeah, I'm quite liking this. Battery tray seems to be the same as all the others. Battery tray comes with these little tabs. I'll get this guy out of the way here. Hopefully you can see it's got like a little tab here and another one at the back. It's got another one at the front on this side. Now these tabs, you can remove them a lot of the times. Well, in my battery trays that I've been running on my ARRMA vehicles, I actually remove them completely and take them out and just have my batteries in there. Now if you do run some sort of shorter battery packs, because these are fairly long trays, you can leave them on and you can obviously kind of shift the weight a little bit, so you can have them at the front of the tray, pushing the battery back a bit, or you can have them at the back of the tray and push the batteries forward a bit, so you can adjust your a little bit of weight bias. It's not a huge difference, but it may obviously influence performance. Very beefy links. You're still running nice thick 5mm drive shafts all the way through the truck. You got metal spur gear right there. You can hear the little click. Mesh seems to be pretty good too, so little movement on the spur is nice. And it is still running the same motor, 2050 kV 4-pole. Very nice. 180 amp ESC. Now this ESC is version 2, so this guy has been recently updated because the original ESCs, they did have a few hiccups, and yeah, a couple of them have failed, including one on my Kraton. But since then they have been bringing out this other version, and yeah, I haven't had any issues with the Kraton, haven't had any issues with the Italian either, and even the Typhon, surprisingly, that's the version 1 ESC, it's still going. So after, I don't know how many times I've ran that thing, it's still going fine. Droop screws are already pre-installed. Suspension feels fantastic. I'm really pleased with the suspension here. The only thing I will say is just the back is sagging a tad, but there is plenty of adjustability on my shocks here. So these springs, thank God, aren't short. So they, you can adjust your tension a little bit. That'll help raise, give me a bit more rebound because at the moment it kind of sags a tad. It does have T connectors on already pre-installed. One thing I have found with all the T connectors with all these ARRMA vehicles is that you use them for a little while and then they start to slip out of the battery. So I've actually been changing a lot of mine over to my own connectors, and I haven't had any issues since. I kind of wish that ARRMA would update these, because I don't know if it's the springs on them or what the story is, but yeah, they just don't hold the batteries as well as they should. you know, in the plug, that is. Does have steering servo. What's the steering servo? Same as the others, 15 kilogram steering servo. So it looks like they're running a pretty standard setup throughout their entire 1/8 scale vehicles. Not even the servos are swapped around. So everything is pretty nice. I can't wait to run this thing. I mean, this is just, every time I think about this truck and just think that it can run 6S straight out of a box, it's just, it blows my mind. I mean, a lot of short course trucks out there, 10th scale, are pretty much the same size as a 1/8 scale buggy, and you know, as far as wheelbase goes. So it makes sense to get the Typhon chassis, just change over some A-arms, add a few plastic bits and pieces, and hey presto, you got yourself a short course truck running a 1/8 scale brushless system and capable of 6S and some, I don't know, super hyper speeds. I really am very tempted to see how this guy performs overall. Of course, you know, you can get some short course trucks to get, you know, 60 plus miles an hour on 3S, but you never have that torque, you never have the responsiveness, and of course they're not built like this. I mean, this thing's got roll cages all over the place, which is, I think I may have not mentioned it, but I know that you would have seen it plenty of times. That roll cage right there is designed to basically protect the body from caving in on itself, because it is quite a heavy vehicle. So when you do land upside down, this guy is going to be pretty well protected, and yeah, it's just not going to completely fall apart on you. I am really looking forward to running this truck. I cannot wait for a nice day, take it out, run it on 4S first, then 6S, and then of course I'll swap over pinions and so forth, and just see how it performs overall. I do want to put this up against another short course truck of mine, but at this stage I'm kind of in the air as to which one would actually even be competitive against something like this. I've got a few short course trucks, but I don't think any of them are set up to be able to keep up with this thing as it is. I'm going to have to do some modifying and some upgrading on some of my existing short course trucks to see if it'll keep up with this. But for now, I'm going to leave this here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please be sure to check the video description for more information on the truck, as well as a link to my Facebook page. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. And that is it from me. Thank you all for watching, and I will speak to you next time.